Hello and welcome to the program Mystic World with Jimmy. I am Jimmy. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are around the world. And I'm your guide through the mystic world of tarot. Before we go on to today's topic, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel. The next card is the Two of Swords. And this card is about separation. There's information from the woman. This card has a man, a child, and a woman. The woman's wearing purple, the man is wearing blue, and he's got an armor, a coat of armor to protect him. So obviously the lady needs healing, and she's been very emotional, and she's been taking it out on the husband. In this situation, they both got knives, or swords, shall I say. The man is trying to protect himself, but the lady has the sword in an angle where she can fire it into him. And this hasn't just happened, it's been happening for quite a while. The son that's in the middle feels that it's his fault that those two are fighting. But these two are fighting because the mother has an emotional issue. So instead of getting her some help, and she probably feels there's nothing wrong with her, she needs to look a little bit deeper to the problem. And the reader needs to do that for them by picking up either another card to go alongside it and see what the other card is about. On the other hand, you can use a crystal that is attached to a little sign like a pendulum, and you can ask yourself, the spirits to tell you what the problem might be. The other one is the Ace of Swords. Now, this one here is a very interesting card. The swords always have some sort of negative emotion or negativity attached to them. The Ace of Swords has a woman ready to fight. Her costume is defensive, it's light colored, and she has a coat of armor. She's looking straight into the camera as though to say, I'll win this. Well, unfortunately, a woman like that can be negative, and the negativity projects itself as the bitch. So wherever she goes, she's right and they're wrong. Not in a good place to be at that stage. But she's got a lot of mountains in the background with snow, which means that she feels trapped in situations. But she's got a lot of flat surfaces, and it's soil. The soil will help her. She's barefooted, which means she's picking up the earth's energy at the same time and gives her strength. The next suits that we're going to be doing is the cups. So the first one up is the King of Cups. Here you have a man sitting on a throne, and the throne is balancing itself on a podium that is between the land and the sea. Behind him is green grass. He's holding onto a cup in one hand, and the other hand he's holding onto, it's a string instrument, like a little harp. He's wearing a crown, which gives the impression that he is a manager or a leader in a company. Behind him there's more land, and in between the mountains you can see the water on the other side, and then you have blue skies. At one stage, let's go back behind him in his past and look at the water and the skies. He was happy there. He was married and he had kids. How do we know he had kids? because he's 45 years of age and there is pain in his heart, and one would feel that. And the pain can only be because he can't see the kids. So he went through a lot of trouble and a lot of pain through maybe a separation. Hence the emotional water that is behind him, it's gone behind him. He traveled a long way and he picked up again. But he's afraid of being involved with anybody emotionally because he doesn't want the same thing repeated. Emotionally, he's quite happy. The cup that he's holding is full. If it wasn't, it will be upside down. The crown he carries is the job that has been offered to him, and he loves it. He loves music, and that's depicted by the instrument. And he loves everything that he's on about, and he doesn't want to lose it. He's got a crab at the base there as well, also indicates a water element. But this card depicts cancer, not a disease, but cancer as in the star sign. He doesn't need to be born under the cancer signs, but what the cards most times depict is the personality of the star sign to the person. Sometimes you may be born as a Pisces, and that's a water sign. But if you have the King of Cups, it is Cancerian, which means that exactly that, full of emotion. The card is like the king itself. It's about strength, authority, compassion, maturity, and of course leadership, because he's the top dog. The Queen of Cups, a lady sitting on a chair that's very solid, greenery around her and the hills behind her. So she's depicted by the Scorpio sign. It also indicates that there will be a transaction to do with property. What she's sitting on is very solid, and what she's getting, a house or whatever investment she might be doing, it is also solid. But this card always refers to a transaction to do with property. Whether you're buying or selling, it's still that. And you can go into it a little bit deeper. And if the client says, yes, I'm buying a property, you can ask her for a photo, and you can check it against the photo. And sometimes the spirit will give you a price to go with that if your client asks. The Knight of Cups. This is also the Pisces cup. And this is a nice card, just like the knight on the horse trotting away in the creek. This is about romantic, artistic energy. It's about passion and following your heart and not being afraid to take risks in any aspect that demands it. The horse is at a trot, 3 on the ground and 1 in the air, or 2 in the air. Legs I'm talking about. There's a lot of fish, maybe 2 or 3 that we can see, swimming with the horse. What that indicates is the Pisces card. The Pisces is a water element, and sometimes they go up and down, confused, go around in circles. But if they have a fire element in one of their so-called houses, then they are stronger and a lot more fiery than the typical Piscean. Well, the picture has a horse, a rider, a pond, or looks like a river, some trees, and more water on the other side of the trees. What that indicates is someone with good intentions has offered this man to go overseas, maybe with them. He decides, I don't know about that. I think I'm just going to trot along and blah, 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 blah. But in essence, he should go. The horse is trotting and it wants to go. So the man is trying to sort of restrict him from movement. But he will go because the horse is moving. So he will go overseas. And in this case, he could be offered a project that financially will be very successful. And there's a lot of growth in them trees in relation to business. And the business might not be that far from water. But all in all, he's holding a cup and he's holding it low towards the reins. I don't think he can spill the amount of fluid that's in the glass, but emotionally, he's happy. But he doesn't want to let go of the cup, which means he's afraid that it might become empty and he will get very sad again. The next card we have is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups shows a pond. By the pond is a young person looking down at the water and looking at his reflection. Across, you have the pond water and a lot of trees. What that indicates is you're going to have some news from somewhere afar because of someone that is thinking about you all the time. And they think of you, but they're not calling you. They're watching your face. They're not sure what you're going to do. And the growth of the trees is the financial growth that this young man is eventually going to be involved with. This is the card that symbolizes a youthful approach to life, to work. It talks about the creative and curious side of your personality shining through and taking center stage. It's a gentle and sensitive image that touches on the nice things of life. On the other side, it can indicate immaturity because of lack of emotional depth that some may have. So thank you for joining us today. That's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you next time. But before you go, just press the button to like and subscribe. It does help our channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now.